All right, this is For His Mercy is More. Matt Papa, Matt Boswell are the writers of it, I believe. And not too difficult of a song, just want to show you a few things on it. This song is probably best sung in the key of E or F, F would mean a capo on one. I'm just going to play E-shaped chords, and I'm going to play it in E. Hopefully E is a key you play in. A lot of people stray away from it when they first learn guitar because they don't really know some of the best ways to form chords. And what you have to know about when you see a chart on the internet or look at a chart diagram in a book, like an A chord or a B chord, they show the absolute proper way to in theory, make that chord. And that's not always the best way to play that on a guitar, though. And so what I want to show you in the key of E, you probably know the E chord. It's just pointer right here, third string, first fret, ring, fourth string, second fret, middle finger, fifth string, second fret. So, and you play all six strings because it's the bassiest note you can hit on the guitar, the open E. Play all those together, that's your E. Then this song also has A chords, and an A chord is played this way. You probably know the A chord just stacked up like that on the second fret, strings 2, 3, and 4, but the best way to play it for this song in this key is just to play the middle two strings. You just don't play, you leave that string open, the second string. You leave the second string open, just play the middle two strings, so 3 and 4 on the second fret. And the best way to do that, coming from an E chord, would simply just to be leave your ring finger there and add your pinky. So you get your A chord, 5 strings down, because the fifth string is your A bass note. 5 strings down is your A. So you have E, and then A, and what that does is it leaves the top, or the high strings 1 and 2, the E and the B string, it leaves them open for both chords. See, they're open in the E, and they're open in the A. They're left open. There's no finger pushing, and we call that an open string. And they ring constant. It's a common tone. So these two tones, the B and the E, they connect the chords. They tie them together. And that's true of this whole key. Every chord we're going to play is going to leave those two high strings open, and it makes a real pretty, robust, connected sound. So we have our E chord, we have our A chord, and then from that A position, you're going to slide it up 2 frets. So your ring and pinky slide up to the 4th fret, and then you're just going to add your pointer finger, and this is a little bit of a reach at first, but you'll get used to it. Reach your pointer finger back to the 2nd fret, that's your B bass note, and play, again, 5 strings down, that's your B chord. And then take that shape and move it up 2 more frets to frets 4 and 6. So it's the same shape as B, just moved up 2 more frets. So 4 and 6, that's your C sharp minor. The proper C sharp minor, of course, would be barring it, but bars are not only difficult to do, they just don't sound as good when you want to keep those common tones, keeping these common strings open, the B and the E. So that's your C sharp minor. Again, down to B, frets 2 and 4, and then A, all on the 2nd fret. The last 2 chords of this song are an F sharp minor, and I'm just going to show you that from a B shape, so you kind of see the position your fingers are in. If you took a B, which is the middle 2 strings on the 4th fret, and then adding your pointer right here, you're just going to invert that or flip it. So the ring and pinky are going to move up on the 4th fret to strings 4 and 5, and then the pointer finger goes under the chord. So on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. So instead of being over the chord, the pointer finger being over the chord in the B, it flip-flops and it goes under the chord for the F sharp minor. And if your hand is big enough, you can wrap your thumb around and get that F sharp bass note, which definitely sounds good. But if you can't do that, just play 5 strings down. It still sounds very good. And again, it leaves those 2 strings open instead of barring that whole chord, and it sounds kind of just tight. This makes it sound a lot more open and robust, and it's going to tie it all together. So that's an F sharp minor. You should get in the habit of playing that when you're in the key of E like this. And then the final chord is this bass movement. Whenever you see 2 chords, whenever you see a chord like a chord slash another chord. In this case, it's E slash G sharp, E over G sharp. What that means is the chord is going to be an E chord, but in the bass note, it wants a G sharp. And so in this case, what that means is typically an E chord, the low string right here, the sixth string, is an E already. And that's every open chord is that way. The lowest string you play is the bass note of that. So it wants to change this E string to a G sharp. And I'm just going to show you the positioning without explaining why it is this way. Basically, if you take your ring and pinky and go to the 4th fret again, just like you're making a B, but instead of making the B, you're just going to take your middle finger, and that also goes on the 4th fret, the 6th string, the low string. That's a G sharp note. E is open, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. So you have this E chord underneath, and then you got this G sharp note. And what you have to do in this position, it's a little tricky, you take your pointer finger and you simply just touch the 5th string. You don't push it, you just touch it so it mutes. It's kind of hard to see there, but when you just touch it, it mutes it. So all together, it sounds like this. Got the bass note right here, muted string, and the rest of the chord. And that provides a real nice walk up in the song, thrown into a C without bottom or shore. And it just walks up the bass part. So that's the forming of all those chords. So for the timing of this song, it's a 6/8 song, and it calls for a little bit of a sway kind of a feel. So the way I would play it is just counting out 6 beats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And so I'm down on the 1, and I'm up on the and of the 2 and the and of the 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. That's kind of without a sway. To add the sway, you just have to have a little bit of a feeling. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and play a verse and a chorus of His Mercy is More. I'll try to put the chords below so you can follow along with His Mercy is More in the key of E. What love could remember no wrongs we have done. Our nation all-knowingly thinks not their son, thrown into a sea without bottom or shore. Our sins, they are helps you play His Mercy is More.